It began with a cop with a grudge. Aboard the tourist bus, armed with an M16 assault rifle, was sacked police officer Rolando Mendoza. The hostages, 15 tourists from Hong Kong. Pinned to the windscreen were demands for his reinstatement to the force, with a threat to kill the hostages if that was not agreed. It was the start of an 11-hour drama that was played out live on television. By the late afternoon, half a dozen tourists, mainly Chinese women and children, had been released. At dusk, the gunman began carrying out his threat. The hostage, his handcuffed wrist visible to the left of the door, collapses after what appears to have been a gunshot. Minutes later, the driver managed to escape from his cab, running for his life. What he told police about conditions inside then prompted a full-scale commando assault on the bus. It was a textbook example of how not to carry out a hostage rescue. It took 5 attempts for the commandos to gain entrance, and as they began moving into the bus, they were driven back by a burst of gunfire. Outside the vehicle, the commandos fired back. Minutes later, Mendoza opened fire down the length of the bus. It was here, it's thought, that some of the hostages were killed. Finally, after a standoff which lasted nearly 12 hours, Mendoza was shot. It was only then that the SWAT team could begin bringing out the shocked and traumatised hostages that had survived this drawn-out ordeal. All 8 of them needed medical attention. Some of them were critically injured. This woman lost her husband. Her 3 children were also on the coach. She doesn't know where they are.
I really wanted to die together with my husband, but when I thought of my children, I thought that one of us should protect ourselves as best we could to look after them. Who would have thought he'd really die? I really miss him. I hope he would bless the 3 children.
Local media said that Rolando Mendoza had been sacked from the police force for extortion. His brother blames the police for failing to negotiate a peaceful resolution.
They were the ones who failed in the negotiations. Then they blamed the outcome on me.
All of the victims were on an organised tour from Hong Kong. At a press conference, the region's chief executive appeared close to tears.
This is very tragic. And the way it is handled, particularly the way the outcome, I find it is disappointing.
The president of the Philippines was quick to offer his condolences and promised a full investigation.
We will be enhancing by providing funds necessary to support the training and the acquisition of equipment that seem to be so lacking today.
China has now sent an aircraft to fly home those well enough to travel. Some families have headed to Manila to bring their relatives back. Rhiannon Mills, Sky News.